Welcome back, seekers of spiritual wisdom. Today, we're continuing our journey through the great minds of Islamic philosophy. And trust me, today's episode is one you don't want to miss. We're talking about Al-Farabi, a thinker so influential that he earned the title the second teacher, right after Aristotle. That's right, the second greatest philosopher in history, according to many medieval scholars, wasn't from Greece or Rome, but from the Islamic world. So, who was Al-Farabi, and what made him such a monumental figure? Al-Farabi, whose full name was Abu Nasr al-Farabi, was born in the 9th century in what is today Kazakhstan or Turkmenistan. The exact location is debated. What we do know is that he traveled extensively and eventually made his intellectual home in Baghdad, just like al-Kindi. Baghdad at the time was a vibrant hub for scholarship, science, and interfaith. Now, Al-Farabi wasn't just another philosopher repeating what came before. He was an original synthesizer, someone who brought together Greek philosophy, especially the works of Plato and Aristotle, and Islamic theology in a way that felt coherent, bold, and forward-thinking. One of his most fascinating contributions is his concept of the virtuous city. Think of it as an Islamic version of Plato's Republic. Al-Farabi believed that just as the soul needs to be in harmony to be healthy, so too must society be structured around justice, wisdom, and moral integrity to truly flourish. For him, the ideal society is one ruled by a philosopher-prophet, someone who combines rational wisdom with divine insight. And here's what's wild. He didn't see reason and revelation as enemies. He saw them as twin paths. So if you're ever caught in a debate about whether science and faith can coexist, Al-Farabi would be the guy standing in the middle saying, absolutely, and here's how. Let's talk about his political philosophy for a moment. Al-Farabi classified governments into good and bad categories, depending on whether they aimed at the common good or just the desires of the ruler. Sound familiar? That same framework influenced both Islamic and European political thought for centuries. He also dove deep into metaphysics, the study of existence itself. He tried to reconcile Aristotle's ideas of the first cause, the unmoved mover, with the Islamic concept of God. His approach to metaphysics paved the way for later philosophers like Avicenna, who we'll cover in an upcoming episode. Another key area where Al-Farabi made his mark was logic. In fact, many scholars consider him the greatest logician of the Islamic world. He saw logic not just as a tool for argument, but as a means of uncovering truth. In an age when rhetoric often ruled over reason, that was revolutionary. But Al-Farabi wasn't all theory. He was also deeply interested in music. Yes, music. He wrote a treatise called Kitab al-Musika al-Kabir, or the Great Book of Music, where he analyzed the mathematical and psychological foundations of music. He believed music had a powerful effect on the soul and could even be used to shape the character of citizens in the virtuous city. Sounds like something right out of a modern TED Talk, doesn't it? And let's not forget his views on happiness. Al-Farabi believed that the ultimate purpose of life was to attain true happiness, not the fleeting kind we get from entertainment or material success, but a deep intellectual joy that comes from knowing the truth and living virtuously. For him, happiness wasn't just a personal goal, it was a societal mission. Now, you might be wondering, was Al-Farabi's work appreciated in his time? Surprisingly, yes, although not without controversy. He influenced scholars across the Islamic world, but his ideas also stirred debates, especially around the role of reason in interpreting faith. Still, his work made its way to Europe through Latin translations and had a massive impact on Christian philosophers like Thomas Aquinas and Jewish thinkers like Maimonides. So why does Al-Farabi matter today? Because he gives us a model of what philosophy can be, not just an academic exercise, but a guide for how to build better societies. In a world facing political division, spiritual confusion, and a hunger for meaning, Al-Farabi reminds us that wisdom isn't just for the ivory tower, it's for all of us. Here's a thought to leave you with. If you had the chance to design your own virtuous city, what would it look like? What values would it be built on? Let me know in the comments, and let's dream a little, the way Al-Farabi did. Thanks again for watching Spiritual Wisdom. In our next episode, we'll meet one of the most influential minds in both Islamic and Western philosophy, the great Avicenna. You won't want to miss it. So like, share, and subscribe. And as always, Keep asking questions and stay wise.